Hey guys, welcome back to Stage 3 Entertainment. I'm James as always, and I have a special guest, good friend of the show, Luigi with us today. We're here in James Games Corner to talk about Luigi's top 5 favorite games. So Luigi, why don't you take it away?
Alright. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
So I don't know, I have this thing for strategy games.
Yeah, that is your style, definitely.
Yeah. So most of my 5 favorite games are gonna be strategy games.
Okay.
Well, I guess I actually numbered them.
Wrote them down just
Yeah. So number 5, Civ 5.
Civ 5.
Yeah.
Great game.
Amazing game. I've been putting too many hours, man, into it since it first came out.
Yeah.
It's just so in depth, and I mean it's a complete game, to be honest with you.
It's one of those games where you can start a game and sit there for like 3 hours, feel like you've done nothing really,
Dude.
and then you're like, oh, my day is gone.
One more turn, literally.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like you start a session and then the next 2 days you're still sitting down in the same position.
You're just like trying to find ways to actually like, because it's usually have like one specific task you want to get done each session.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, like my thing is I'm like all right, let me just get to like turn 200, and that's like the end of the first session.
Yeah, exactly. And it's such a it's a game that branches off very well. So like you can start doing one thing and not necessarily follow the same strategy. You can adapt. Although I mean, usually people recommend to just follow through with whatever plan you had from the beginning, right? Be it the policies that you choose and all that good stuff. But it's definitely one of those games that make you think.
Yeah, it's I think we talked about it before. Like I always go in with the idea of I'm gonna take over the whole world, and I'm gonna have complete domination over everything. It's gonna be just me, and then like turn like 1,050. I'm like, okay, maybe I just go for a space win or a diplomacy win because my citizens hate me. I can't make everyone happy, and there's like just one army who just like I can't do anything to anymore. And
have you ever played with Venice in the game?
I will tell you, I always play with mods, and I do the Game of Thrones mod. Okay. So I play as different Game of Thrones factions, so it's a little bit different.
If you get to play the vanilla version, Venice is this faction where you can't really have more than one city. So you build your own city, and that's it. So it's definitely very hard to just go aggressive.
Which is one city. You're like, alright, we just got a little town.
But it's great. I mean, you're just essentially building as tall as you can.
Yeah.
Because obviously everybody else is gonna have 20 cities, and you're just one dude.
Yeah. For people who don't know, building tall means building one thing very strong. Building wide is a lot of small things.
Yeah. It's definitely the game has so many different I guess phases that you can just explore.
Yeah.
That you can just go for whatever. Some of the factions are obviously way worse than others, but most of them are super cool.
Yeah. It's a cool game, especially you have all these historic figures that are also involved as well to make it fun. And there's of course the legendary war crazy Gandhi thing.
Yes,
it's a character from the old Civ game and stuff. So it's a great series. Civ 5. I put way too many hours into myself.
Yep.
Jeez. So what else you got?
Let's see. So the fourth one, it's from a franchise that kind of got revamped or re-released. I guess it was a year or two ago. It's Age of Wonders, first game. I think we're at Age of Wonders 3 right now. The first game is definitely one of those games that really remind me of my childhood. It's I don't know, the music, all the little sprites.
Yeah.
It's super simple. There's nothing super hard to understand from that game. It's just your typical 4X, explore, exterminate, whatever game with a bunch of fantasy factions and races.
Is it similar to the RTS games? Is it similar to the Age of Empire set games or?
Sort of. It's just that this one is completely turn-based.
Yeah.
And I mean it has turn-based combat as well. It's a game that Civ, it can take many hours for you to finish. This is one of those games, right? But yeah, I mean, it's a very like enduring game to me. When I first like played it, I needed to essentially know everything about it.
Yeah.
So I played the game a whole lot. And with the third one, I played it a little bit. I really have to sit down just to see what new things this one was able to bring. But yeah, definitely Age of Wonders.
It's one of those things where it's like, once you're playing, you're going to be in it. So it's like,
exactly. It's like
I have to commit a day to this.
You just can't make plans. You just sit down and you just play the game for like
that's your whole day.
5, 6, 7 hours. That's it. There's a bunch of games like it where from the Civ department that are just like that that I really like as well. But when it comes to this, the way you learn your spells, for example, the way you customize your main character and the heroes that you can recruit, from the game. It was very in depth, I guess, for when it was first released.
Yeah.
And now with the new iterations, it's definitely way more complex. Yeah.
So what else you got on there?
I have Age of Empires 2.
Sticking with strategy games.
Of course. Well, the next two, spoilers, they're not strategy games.
Yeah, but, early.
Yeah. Age of Empires 2, man, what can you say about Age of Empires?
I feel like there's not a person alive who has ever played PC gaming who hasn't played Age of Empires.
I think that was literally the first game on a PC that I've ever played.
Probably the same for me.
Yeah.
I just think, because that's the one that, if I remember right, it might be one of the DLC packs, but I just remember the loading screen, not the loading screen, but the actual menu select screen. It's like an alley, like a street, and there's you click on the signs and
yes,
yeah,
yes. That was definitely the vanilla version of it because now they've updated it so much.
Oh yeah.
But it's definitely a game that you can go back and you're not gonna feel bad about it. Obviously, it's depending on how you play, that will depend, your performance and everything. But the game itself is so funny. There's so many memes that have come out of it. The priests, and
was Age of Empires 2 or is it one that had? I think there was a cheat that was cheat steak Jimmy's, and it would give you a Corvette as a playable.
So I don't remember if it was in 2, but I did play 1.
Yeah.
And in the first one, there was a car.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, "This is great." And I just make 50 of those and just drive into town.
You can even make this is going back to the first one because I think that was the only one that I used cheats, codes on.
Yeah, because you play on the computer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you can even make dudes with laser guns and stuff.
Which completely because that game only goes up to did the first Age of Empires? See, I ended up playing a lot of Rise of Nations, which is a similar game, just different company. And that one, it went all the way up to more modern day stuff, but Age of Empires, I didn't go too far into the future.
Not at all, man. I think the most advanced thing that you get to make is I don't even I can't even tell you there's nothing. I think it's called the contemporary age or the modern age. My bad. And you get to make early gun wielding.
Yeah, and that's the base of it. Yeah.
And that's I think that's the very last age.
Age of Empires, man. That's I feel like that, and not to say this in a bad way. I feel like it's baby's first RTS because that's the one that always gets people in first.
Yeah.
It's such a good game. The fact that people still play today and Age of Empires is still a popular series proves how good that game is.
Yeah, the game is still you can still find people playing it. There's leagues that play the game competitively. So it's definitely something that if you really want to get back into it, you can. Because there's going to be people that will like to play with you.
Yeah, it's a solid game. Definitely a good game.
For my second pick, okay, so I said that these two were not going to be strategy games, and they're actually not at all.
Okay.
This one is The Hobbit from Sierra Games.
Yeah.
So that is a very, I guess, obscure game.
I was going to say it's definitely the most obscure, probably, of the ones you picked.
That game. So when I was little, I gotta tell this story super quick. That was the first fantasy book I ever read, right?
Okay.
The Hobbit. So I was really into it, and a friend of mine told me, "Oh, The Hobbit. I have that game. I can just lend it to you." And he did. and that was the end of it, right? Like, I played it so much. It's such a whimsical game to play.
Because it's not based off of the movies that came out later. It's awful. It's the more like cartoony type look to it, yeah.
Yes, it's definitely not based on any of the Peter Jackson movies. It's more like their author's own version of the book.
Yeah.
So you essentially have the same type of encounters. Like, you meet the 3 trolls, you escape the goblin lairs. You do pretty much everything you do. It's just that obviously with the style that they wanted to put it back then. But it's a super fun platformer. I think Rune is probably the only platformer I can compare that game to. Which is also like, I mean, I don't know if you've tried to play Rune
recently.
It's horrible, man. I mean, I don't know why. It's just like a very hard game to get into. But the Hobbit, though, it had like many things going for it. Like, you know, the type of ammunition that you could have, the type of weapons you could use. And obviously, you know, the characters. Yeah. But I guess it was easier for me and I guess other people because they kind of like knew the characters already.
Yeah, exactly. Because you already know. It's like it's one of the best parts about having a game like this. Like, you already know the story and everything, but now you're getting to experience it.
Exactly.
Instead. So it makes it kind of feel a little special in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I love that game. I mean, I would play it again if I had the chance. I don't think it's in any like downloadable like
form or way to get it nowadays.
Yeah, I think I've looked that up even on GOG. Reviews that, but like nobody has it. So
can't get it.
Still waiting for it.
I will say, so you told me your final game on the list already.
Yeah.
And it's funny because up till now you have all this kind of like castle, swords, and shields type situation. And then your last game was completely different.
Completely different.
Go ahead.
Halo, man. Combat Evolved. First game.
First Halo.
Yeah, the first Halo, man. It's so... that game was such a beauty to play. The music, the story.
It revolutionized shooters. Like, the only game that had done anything that had Jurassic was GoldenEye, where it was something that addressed for first-person shooters. Then Halo came out. It's like, hey, what's up? This is what shooters are now.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the multiplayer experience with that game was so good. Like, you know, you can still find, like, if you go, I mean, probably not right now, but a few years back, multiplayer, like, first-person shooters were pretty much Halo 1.
Yeah.
You know, obviously with different skins and everything, but it was pretty much the same thing.
It was just Halo 1, but made as this game, and then made as this game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you got these 2 teams, you have your vehicles and your different weapons, you know, scattered around the map, and you have objectives to fulfill.
Yeah.
That's essentially Halo 1 in a nutshell. I still remember the day I beat that game because it's probably one of the few games I've ever beat in my life. And it was super intense. I think the very last mission, you're in one of those buggy things, and you have to...
You're escaping.
Exactly, you're escaping.
That's the end of almost every Halo game.
Okay. To be honest with you, the only other Halo game I've ever played is Halo 2. Okay. And I never finished it.
Really?
Yes.
Well, don't worry, they kind of didn't finish it either, the way the story ends. But go on.
But yeah, it's like... I mean, after Halo 1, what else do you have to offer me? Like,
you're like, I'm good.
Yeah,
I got what I need.
I'm just good, you know?
No, Halo 1's a freaking amazing game. Like, I prefer Halo 2 as far as multiplayer goes, but Halo 1, story and everything and what it did for the company, like, for the industry, I should say, is a fantastic game.
Definitely.
Well, I think we're going to wrap it up on today's episode of James Games Corner. Feel free to tell us what you think of his top 5 and what your top 5 are in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video with all your friends. Until next time, have a great day.
Bye-bye.